Hello and welcome to the session on Great Philosophers of Education, Maria Montessori. You must be familiar with the word Montessori school since there are number of Montessori schools in India. Such schools follow a child-centered approach towards learning and education. But did you know the word Montessori originated from the name of an Italian woman? She was the first woman who influenced the educational system to such a great extent that the educational method developed by her bears her name. The great women educator's name is Maria Montessori. In this unit, we will learn more about the life and the educational principles of Maria Montessori. We will also examine the educational method developed by her, the key educational concepts of Montessori education, the importance of that approach, its merits and demerits will also be analyzed in this unit. The life and work of Maria Montessori, 1870 to 1952. Maria Tecla Artemisia Montessori, widely known as Maria Montessori, was the first woman to enter the world of education with her unique and revolutionizing learning method. Her contributions to education of young children are unparalleled and she has revolutionized the world of education. Her educational method is used by both public and private schools throughout the world. Apart from being an educational reformer and thinker, Dr. Maria Montessori is also famous as the first lady doctor in Italy. Montessori was born in 1870 in Italy. After the early and secondary education, she decided to become a doctor of medicine. But women were not admitted in medical colleges those days and people discouraged her ambition to pursue her career in medicine. Despite the gender discriminations and discouragements, Maria Montessori managed to get admission in University of Rome Medical School in the year 1893. After graduating medical school, she worked with mentally disabled children. As part of work, she got plenty of opportunities to observe children with mental disabilities. These observations became central to the development of her educational philosophy in later years. Two major figures who influenced Montessori were Jean-Marc Gaspard Itard and Edward Seguin. She read and studied the works of these two 19th century philosophers and educators. She found Itard's ideas fascinating, but she carried forward his ideas by creating a more specific and organized system in order to apply those ideas to the education of children with disabilities. The ideas and philosophies educated by Itard and Seguin gave her work a new direction and encouraged her to focus on the education for children with learning disabilities. Her work was also influenced by Frederick Froebel and John Henrik Pestalozzi, who emphasized the importance of sensory exploration to improve learning skills. From 1897 to 19,000, she gave speeches and wrote a number of articles. Through the speeches and articles, she pointed out the importance of creating special classes and institutions for mentally disabled children. She also emphasized on the need to give special training for teachers who would be teaching such children. In 19,000, she was appointed as the co-director of an orthophrenic school. That was a medico-pedagogic institute which started with the aim of training teachers to educate children with disabilities. There she taught psychology, anatomy and physiology of the nervous system, anthropological measurements, causes and characteristics of mental disability and special methods of instruction. She was an instructor at that institute for 2 years. It was during this period Montessori developed educational methods and materials which were later adapted for the education of mainstream children. After thoroughly observing children with mental deficiency, Montessori concluded that dullness of senses is a cause of mental deficiency. She found that through sensory training, remarkable results can be achieved in the education of those children. She also realized that the same method of sense training could be extended to normal children to achieve better results. This motivated her to develop her own methods of instructions based on practical experimentation. Beginnings of the Montessori system of education. In the last module, we have already seen how Maria Montessori was initiated into designing educational programs and methods for children with disabilities. In this module, we will look in detail how those methods were further developed into an organized educational system called Montessori education system. The orthophrenic school Montessori was working at became a huge success in teaching children with disabilities. It attracted attention from many, including government officials and departments of education and health of Italy, social leaders, and many prominent figures in the field of education were also attracted to the methods developed by Montessori. Some of the kids educated at this special school later passed public examinations given to the so-called normal children. That gave rise to the more popularity of the school and Montessori's methods. After leaving the orthophrenic school in 1901, Montessori spent her time studying theoretical and moral philosophy, the history of philosophy and psychology. She also studied anthropology and educational philosophy. She devoted her time to conduct observations and experimental research in elementary schools. These new researches and observations made her revisit the theories of Itard and Seguin. It was during this period she started adapting her methods for the education of mentally disabled children to mainstream education. The first Montessori school. In 1906, she was invited to train and educate a group of children of working parents. Since she was interested in extending her educational methods to normal children, she accepted this invitation and took the challenge. Thus, she opened a school for children aged between 3 and 7 in 1907. This school was named Casa dei Bambini or Children's House. This was the first Montessori school and she used the material she had developed to educate these children. The school included a variety of activities including personal care such as dressing and undressing, care of the environment such as dusting and sweeping, and caring for the garden. The kids were also trained to use the materials she developed. She observed the behavior patterns of the children and based on those she further developed her educational theories. She found out that when the kids were given free choice, they showed more interest in practical activities than in toys. She could also find that the children exhibited spontaneous self-discipline over a period of time. All these observations and findings made her implement more educational methods in the classrooms. Those methods later became the characteristics of her educational philosophy. The furniture in the Montessori classroom was replaced with child-sized chairs and tables so that kids could move the furniture. Practical activities and personal care were central to the activities of the classroom. She introduced a number of such activities including flower arranging, hand washing, gymnastics, care of pets, and cooking. Open air sessions were also conducted in the school. Through these classroom experiments, Montessori made the following conclusions. Children could reach new levels of autonomy when they work independently. Children became more self-motivated when they work on their own. Higher levels of understanding could also be achieved through such independent sessions. In order to achieve better learning and to fulfill the potentials of each child, teachers should consider and treat them as individuals. It should be noted that Montessori worked closely with children and changed some of the methods based on their feedback. She altered or removed activities and games which were chosen less frequently by the kids. She gave them the freedom to choose their play materials, uninterrupted time to work, freedom to move around in the classroom, freedom to do activities set by the limits of the environment. All these observations and experiments made her reach the conclusion that the primary aim of education is independence. She also defined teacher as someone who observes and directs a child's innate psychological development. For the purpose fulfilling the aims of education, she used self-learning and self-correction apparatus called didactic apparatus. The spread of Montessori education. The first Montessori school, Casa di Bambini, was a huge success. The second in the series was opened in the same year. The children who attended the school of Maria Montessori developed remarkable concentration, attention, and self-discipline. This gave the school nationwide attention. She started giving teacher training in her new methods and continued to develop new materials for education. Within a couple of years, the Italian government started replacing Froebelian methods in kindergartens with Montessori methods. Her teaching methods and materials soon started getting international acclaim. Many countries, including Switzerland, the United Kingdom, France, Argentina, Australia, China, India, Japan, Korea, Mexico, Syria, the United States, and New Zealand started to adopt Montessori education system. Montessori education in India. India is one of the countries that successfully implemented Montessori education system. Montessori Society of India was formed in 1926 and her books were translated into many Indian languages. Famous Indian poet Rabindranath Tagore took keen interest in this education method and started Tagore Montessori schools throughout India. Maria Montessori had been associated with the Theosophical Society of India. In 1939, she was invited by the society to come to India and give training to Indian teachers in her methods. She came to India with her son and they stayed in Adyar, giving training and creating a strong base for the method here. She started her own school in Kodaikanal. She lived in India for a few years and during that time she spent in India, she was assisted by Albert Max Johnston and her son Mario Montessori. When Montessori and her son returned to Europe, they appointed Johnston as their representative in India. Johnston and S.R. Swami, who was a student of Montessori, continued to conduct courses throughout different cities in India. They formed an organization by the name of Indian Montessori Training Courses IMTC in 1949. Montessori education system has been vibrant in India for the last few decades. Indian Institute for Montessori Studies was started in 1996 by Professor Rajendra Gupta. Indian Montessori Center IMC, Indian Montessori Association IMA and Indian Montessori Foundation IMF are the other organizations working for the propagation and development of Montessori system in India. Maria Montessori died in the year 1952 at the age of 82. The impact she made on the education system is so deep and groundbreaking. Her ideas and methods are continued to be taught throughout thousands of Montessori schools. She has written a number of books on Montessori method of education. The most notable of her books include The Montessori Method, Scientific Pedagogy as Applied to Child Education in the Children's Houses, Pedagogical Anthropology, Dr. Montessori's Own Handbook, The Child in the Family, Psychogeometry, The Secret of Childhood, Peace and Education, Education for a New World to Educate the Human Potential. Educational Principles of Maria Montessori. As we have seen in the last two modules, the educational philosophy of Maria Montessori was developed during the years she spent with children with disabilities. It was those methods she gradually modified to fit the mainstream education. Her educational philosophy focused on the growth and development of children. She gave importance to freedom within limits and within a carefully prepared environment which ensures a child's exposure to materials and experiences. The major principles of Maria Montessori's educational philosophy can be summarized as follows. Montessori held the view that development of a child should be from within. Her methods were designed in such a way that the children develop intelligence as well as physical and psychological abilities. Their desire to learn and their unique ability to develop their own capabilities were given importance. Though children need adults to introduce them to the possibilities of life, children themselves should determine their response to such possibilities. According to her, each child is different and has his or her own interests, aptitudes, and capacities, so they are to be respected and treated as individuals. The aim of education should be to help children to completely unfold their unique personalities. Along with recognizing the mental and physical differences of the children, education should provide suitable environment to develop their potentials. She insisted that children should be given freedom in the process of education to help the child develop spontaneously. Nothing should come in the way of a child's growth and development. Schools should permit natural and free manifestations of the child. She also gave importance to the concept of self-education. This, according to her, is the best way children can learn and develop their capacities at their own speed. For this purpose, she recommended the use of didactic apparatus. This will control every error and help children correct their errors themselves. Even children with disabilities can receive learning with the help of this apparatus. Montessori's methods were based on the development of senses. She was of the opinion that senses are the gateway to knowledge. How children receive and respond to education depend hugely on the sense training given to them. The best way to develop a child's intellect is by training his or her senses. The senses of children are most active when they are between 3 and 7 years old. As a result, the maximum learning takes place during this stage. The educational principles of Montessori gave stress to the motor and muscular development of young children. She believed that motor training is an essential component of early education. Proper motor and muscular training helps young children to develop their skills for various activities such as writing, cleaning, drawing, sweeping, jumping, combing, running, walking, etc. Montessori argued against the use of material rewards and punishments in the process of education and learning. The development that takes place in children should be natural and out of any reward or punishment. She held the view that material rewards and punishments tend to interfere the natural development of children. She also argued against the use of fairy tales in the education of young children. According to her, such tales tend to confuse children. They also come in the way of children's capacities to adjust to the real world. Therefore, fairy tales should be eliminated from the curriculum of young children. 4 planes of development. Apart from the above mentioned principles, Montessori identified 4 distinct planes or periods in the development of humans. Each of these planes has got its own characteristics, learning modes, and developmental imperatives. Hence, educational purposes at different human developmental stages should cater to the specific needs of those stages. First plane, 0 to 6 years. During this period, children undergo massive physical and psychological changes. Children of this age explore their senses, learn through the process of psychological self-construction and build functional independence. To explain the changes happening to the children at this plane, Montessori introduced the concepts of absorbent mind, sensitive periods and normalization. Absorbent mind. Children during this stage effortlessly assimilate sensorial stimuli from their environment such as language and culture. This power is called absorbent mind and it is unique to children during the first plane. It fades by the time children turn 6 years of age. Sensitive periods. Montessori identified that children are sensitive to certain special stimuli during this phase of development. These special periods of sensitivity are called sensitive periods. The activities and materials developed by Montessori respond to these periods with the aim of enhancing development. Sensory periods identified by her are as follows. Acquisition of language 0 to 6 years, order 1 to 3 years. Sensory refinement 0 to 4 years, interest in small subjects 18 months to 3 years, social behavior 2.5 to 4 years old. Normalization. Montessori observed that children during the stage of 3 to 6 years are in a psychological state called normalization. This emerges from the concentration and focus on the activities that cater to the developmental needs of children. The major characteristics of normalization are the ability to concentrate, spontaneous discipline, continuous and happy work, social sentiments of help and sympathy for others. Second plane, 6 to 12 years. Children belonging to this age group undergo physical changes such as the loss of baby teeth and lengthening of legs and torso. As for psychological changes, children develop a tendency to socialize and work in groups. They also develop their powers of reason and imagination. The formation of intellectual independence, of moral sense and of social organization should happen in the second plane. Third plane, 12 to 18 years. This is the period of adolescence and puberty. Children at this stage might exhibit psychological instabilities and difficulties to concentrate. They develop creative tendencies, a sense of justice and personal dignity. The construction of the adult self in the society should be the aim of education given at this stage. Fourth plane, 18 to 24 years. Montessori didn't write much about this stage and the educational methods she developed didn't pertain to the fourth plane of development. She held the view that children who are educated through her methods during the earlier planes would be ready at this plane to study culture and sciences. She identified economic independence as a crucial factor in this period. Montessori believed that the function of education is to cater to the developmental needs of each of these planes, that according to her will enhance the development intellectual capacities and mental powers of children. Let us summarize what we have discussed so far. The works and philosophy of Maria Montessori gave new dimensions to the education of young children. Her teaching methods were widely appreciated across the globe, and many countries, including India, follow Montessori system of education. The practices of this system are aimed at developing the emotional, physical, and intellectual aspects of children. She gifted the world a scientific pedagogical system which is dynamic and based on observation. Creating suitable environment to foster the highest potential of children, freedom within the limits, sense training, and a child-centered approach are the unique characteristics of Montessori education system. It focuses on social interactions and the holistic development of children rather than concentrating on any specific body of knowledge. Now, you can attempt to answer the questions given here. Who were the major figures that influenced the educational philosophy of Maria Montessori? How did Montessori's experience at the Orthophonic School help her works and ideas? Describe the beginnings of the first Montessori school. How did India receive Montessori's system of education? Why was Montessori against the use of rewards, punishments, and fairy tales in the process of education? Explain the concepts of absorbent mind, sensitive periods, and normalization. Sketch the trajectory of Montessori education system in India. Hope that the given reference books will help you for further understanding. Preschool Education, Singh Bhudev, 2007, New Delhi, APH Publishing. A comprehensive study of education, Ravi Samuel S., 2011, New Delhi, PHI Learning Private Limited. Philosophy of Education, S.S. Chandra and Rajendra Kumar Sharma, 2004, New Delhi, Atlantic Publishers. Thank you for watching this program. We can meet again with another topic soon. Till then, take care.